Doctors! This is why I bet $500,000 in this entire last year on AI and how it's creating the last generation of independent $1 million plus practices. Listen, after 8 years managing $9.1 million in ad spend across 421 practices, I discovered why most ambitious builders plateau before $1 million per month and how the AI patient coordinators are the only solution before private equity makes independent practice ownership obsolete. These are some screenshots so you know I'm not full of crap. $1 million, $83,000 right here. $2 million, $826,000 here on Meta. $5 million, $220,000 here on Google. All that totals up to $9,130,609.39. Listen, while your competitors are losing 40 to 50% of their leads to unanswered phones and poor follow-up, our AI patient coordinators are capturing every single lead, qualifying them perfectly, and booking appointments 24/7. And I'll explain in a second. But here's what makes this even more powerful. Over the last year, I shut down my 14-agent call center. This is a screenshot here showing their attendance that we used to track in a spreadsheet for all 14 agents. I fired all of my reps, invested over $500,000 into development, processed now over 1 million calls at the time of recording this to develop what I'm so excited to share with you. Now tested on 83 practices over the last few months using the systems and technology we've learned from 421 practices over the last 8 years and $9.1 million in ad spend. We've cracked the code for many offices struggling to scale past $100K per month and $1 million per month. Now listen, this isn't for every practice owner. It's specifically designed for ambitious builders who already generate at least $600,000 annually and are ready to scale systematically. Let me show you the results that made me shut down everything else. This is Dr. McKinney. He went from $46,000 per month to $100,000 per month in just 8 months using our system. This is a brief testimonial you can find on our website where I describe it. His staff barely lifted a finger. Dr. Kevin Greenspan for Blueprint to Practice Automation broke $167,000 per month from our marketing with just $3,700 in ad spend. We cut his advertising costs in half while doubling his qualified shows. This is a screenshot showing some of their stats. Dr. Broadbeck, one of our offices, just crushed 6-figure months and made them the new normal after previously, not breaking it for years and years and years. Fairwood Health and Body Transition did $1 million, $16,045 in 16 months from just $42,000 in ad spend, $3,000 per month. Dr. Stacy Chittister brought in $788,000, $520 from just $76,000 in ad spend. Optimal Health US just brought in $130,000 the other month with us from somewhere in the ballpark of $8,000. Here's a screenshot. We brought in $330,000. Next Genesis Healthcare has been able to add $50,000 per month or more to most of their clinics while continuing to launch new ones. But here's what really tells the story. These aren't isolated wins. Now, of course, results may vary. I can't promise these exact results and say they're typical or guaranteed, but the offices who are committed and follow our proven model are hitting these numbers quite commonly. This is what happens when you solve the fundamental problem that's been holding back every ambitious practice owner. The 500K discovery that changes everything. See, for 8 years, my team and I managed over $9.1 million in ad spend across 421 practices. We had a 14-agent call center, like I was mentioning, handling all the leads for our clients. But here's what was driving me crazy about our call center. We had massive staff turnover, nearly 80% year over year. Training was brutal, and the moment we got new hires up to speed, someone on the team would leave and our numbers would quickly dip again. Over 6 years, we hired and fired 125 reps, not to mention all the thousands of applications and interviews we sifted through to bring on those folks. This is a screenshot here showing year by year how many folks we'd hired, terminated, resigned, the attrition rates, and all of that. So we thought, let's train the offices to handle their own leads. They already have the staff answering the phones. Clearly, this model with the call center is just, not a good model. And so we transitioned, started working with practices directly, teaching them our systems. And that's when we discovered something that shocked us. Even our best multi-million-dollar practices were only answering the phone 50 to 60% of their calls. 50 to 60% of the time. And that is the best, which meant they were missing about 50% of the calls. And half of the leads were going to voicemail, yet those are the best and hottest leads. This is a screenshot I took from a study where they said that medical practices and hospitals in the United States miss many of their incoming calls. Studies show that hospitals miss about 24% of these calls. Medical offices, though, miss about 42% during business hours, let alone after hours, right? Where you might be missing 100%, or maybe you have a call center which just isn't that good handling that after hours. These missed calls mean lost chances to engage patients, schedule appointments, and collect payments. But here's what gets interesting. About 80% of appointments are scheduled by phone. When patients cannot get through quickly, they may leave a voicemail or just hang up. However, 60% of people put on hold, give up, and hang up, and 30% of those never call again. And 80% of patients who reach a voicemail do not leave a message. So the question is, how much revenue, how many patients are you losing there? Now, most practice owners will never understand what I'm about to share because they're still thinking like employees, not like building a practice. They're thinking like a doctor, not like a business owner, right? But if you're here, I can assume that you're different. You didn't build a successful practice by accepting quote unquote good enough. Staff would churn nearly 80% year over year at the practice level too, right? The front desk, you probably know this. Recruiting is tough. And once you get new hires, they get trained up for performance. Suddenly, just like we were experiencing, they leave. We've seen it time and time again now working with our offices, and the cycle would repeat again and again. I realized with this, fighting human limitations in a business that demands perfection. Check this out. These are some stats. Healthcare call center stats. Healthcare call centers handle an average of 2,000 calls daily with peaking staff hours, meaning only 60% of coverage. The average hold time is 4.4 minutes, significantly exceeding the target hold time of 50 seconds. Only 1% of call centers achieve a first call resolution between 80 and 100% of the time against an industry standard of 70 to 79%. Patients experiencing negative phone interactions are 4 times more likely to switch providers, 7% abandonment on the 2,000 calls each day, potentially translating to up to $45,000 in lost revenue daily for these practices. And look at this, the 43% of a call center's labor costs, which are getting passed over to you if you're paying a call center, are due to hiring and training and benefits, right? Just keeping the operation afloat, right? Not even like R&D or just paying the staff or whatever. 43% is for training and hiring. That's crazy, just because of the turnover. So I made a decision that shocked everyone. I shut down the entire 14-agent call center, like I mentioned, and invested everything into creating the AI patient coordinator system, specifically designed for ambitious and serious private practice builders. Let me tell you about this medical AI revolution. While every company is trying to build generic chatbots, we spent over $500,000 building and are continuing to invest building the first AI system specifically trained on healthcare conversations and HIPAA compliance. Anyone can build it, can buy AI software. What they can't buy is 8 years of data, 421 practices, and $9.1 million in healthcare advertising. Here's what our AI patient coordinators do that human staff simply cannot. First, they answer every single call, 24/7, 365. No sick days, no breaks, no, I'll call them back later, right? Second, they hold 10 to 30-minute conversations that sound completely human. Check out what Jeremy at Greenlight Chiropractic said. I just listened to, let's coordinate a call to talk about the new process. I just listened to a couple of recordings and I cannot believe that's AI. I want to understand what happens on your end and where it's left off to us. If I was hearing AI like I thought I was, that was very impressive. Let me know what your schedule is like over the next day or so. Dr. James.
We listened to the one and we did a call and it was so crazy. Like, so was it completely computer generated voice, the guy?
Yeah.
He even sounds like he's got a slight sinus infection. It's wild how, and Dr. Charlie is not, you know, she thinks that, you know, Terminator is going to come true and the robots will take over everything. And I'm like, well, we might as well get used to them now. But she even said after the call, she's like, and pardon my language, but she's like, fuck, it asked everything that we want our people to ask. Like it didn't, you know, it wasn't like calling UPS and trying to get to a human. Like, I gotta admit, it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. It's the worst it'll ever be too.
And you know, it's exactly right. Like, it's only gonna get better, which is wild. Like, if it didn't say AI Casey or whatever its name was, I don't think I would have known.
Yeah. Legally, we have to, but it's funny. Most people we talk to, a lot of people don't even hear that. Like, it just like goes in at one ear and out the other, and then they just have a conversation. And they're like, "What was your name?" Or they don't realize they're even talking to AI. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. I was impressed.
Cool. I'm happy to hear that.
Whitaker and Michael Litvak said, your AI is crazy. Who the F needs a receptionist anymore? Third, On top of the AI calling and the long conversations, they qualify leads with surgical precision, screening out things like Medicaid if needed, or screening on the exact cash prices potentially of your program, screen on condition, right? We could screen out the tire kickers while identifying your ideal patients, and also screen on things like condition, severity, and these different things. It can collect payments, book appointments, confirm appointments, and handle all rescheduling, all without you managing a single detail. If you need spouses to show up, it will ask every single time for a spouse to show up. Check out below in this screenshot where in our call center, we used to have 2 quality assurance reps managing and reviewing every single call to see what percentage of the time our reps were actually following the script. 0% of the time they requested a spouse to show up, right? 48% of the time they went and requested a payment for offers that required one. 36% of the time they were successful. 84% of the time they financially screened. 15% they didn't. And clients would always get upset. I'm sure you've dealt with that before, right? So this is game changer. Unlike human staff, this gets better every single time, and it always follows the script to an absolute T. Never misses callbacks, can schedule callbacks, and always call back, right? Never loses leads or conversations. Have you ever texted someone? What happens when they don't text back? Do you still follow up with that lead? There's probably a good chance you and your staff just lose that lead forever. This doesn't happen. Forgetting information previously shared. AI has memory. AI is really smart. No more training cycles. No more performance dips. Just consistent, improving results. Let me show you some more proof. Take Dr. Castelli. He was struggling when he came to us. He tried so many marketing companies and been burned through his savings. Now he's consistently bringing in 20 to 30K per month more from just $2,000 to $3,000 in ad spend. Here's a screenshot where he produced $219,000 from $43,000 in ad spend. Dr. Jane Cunningham from Simply Spine Centers told us, very pleased with the show rate. A few cases closed. Overall, I'm very happy. Here's Brendan Mallory. Went through our Facebook ad process and said, the AI is amazing. He was so excited. He was asking all these questions. Is our back end going to be set up the same? The AI doctor voice will be the same, except for obviously it'll be doctor, his doctor's name, and not the doctor from this other office he demoed. Also, the follow-up emails and texts, we'll have the same setup, correct? He was so impressed he wanted to replicate it immediately. This isn't just about answering phones. This is about creating a systematic competitive advantage that scales with your ambitions. Let me explain. Let me show you the 4-pillar domination method, because the AI patient coordinators are the foundation, and that's it, of our complete AI patient recruitment method designed specifically for builders like you. Because here's what I learned after working with over 421 practices to really succeed and dominate your market. You need 4 things working together. Number 1, yes, you need AI that captures every lead and never sleeps. The follow-up is important, and it could also be part of your strategic advantage. But you also need creative content that positions you uniquely and stays fresh. It has to be changing. And in the AI world, it has to be good. No stock images, right? No clunky, cheap offers and whatever, and just lousy ads that don't have any information or content, no landing page, like just a Facebook lead forms. Like that stuff does not work anymore. It has to be 3, predictable and replicable. You need a conversion system that turns these leads and gets them in office in front of you or virtually. And then when they're in front of you for this consultation, converts them into high-paying patients. You need that back-end conversion system. And you need, number 4, a system that scales predictably and is designed for scale. And you need the money model to back how to convert them into these high-paying patients, which we could support with. Most practices try to just fix one piece, and that's why they fail. They just go ahead and get a bunch of leads, but they don't have anything else there. Or the leads aren't good, right? Or they get really good content, but it doesn't convert, right? This isn't just marketing. It's practice growth engineering, right? Marketing agencies give you ads. We give you a systematic patient acquisition architecture. You need an incredible volume of follow-up, like I was mentioning, and really good follow-up at that on every single lead to maximize your ad dollars. You need insanely good creative content that's changing out frequently and positions you with better offers and strategies than anyone else. You need a back-end money model that allows you to convert leads into high-paying, retain patients with ease in a way that allows you to get them fantastic results. You need a system ultimately that allows you to scale and invest $10,000 to $50,000 or more into ad spend and get predictable results. And that's exactly what we've built. Why the healthcare landscape is changing faster than you think. Let me share why this is important. But here's what you need to understand about timing and why this decision is more critical than you might realize. The healthcare market is consolidating fast. Private equity is buying into the space like crazy. Groups are buying up practices. opening new ones left and right, entering these markets. Competition is only going to get more and more extreme. How do I know? Let me show you some studies. I speak to doctor offices every day, and I've noticed a huge trend in speaking to far more private equity guys than ever before, which is great. They recognize an opportunity, and there's a big opportunity. But if you're running a practice, whether you are in PE or you're a doctor, right? This is a really important time and a really important thing to focus on, because now the strategy is more important than ever. This is from the NIHCM Foundation. Private equity ownership of physician practices is rising. Private equity acquired physician practices grew between 2012 and 2021, 9 years, from 816 practice sites in 2012, with 119 MSAs purchasing them and owning them, to 5,700, almost 5,800 practice sites across 307 MSAs. So 3 times more MSAs, but that's far more than 3 times more practices. And just that's massive growth. That's massive growth. That's, that's 800%. Today, more offices are marketing than ever. The leads are getting contacted more than ever. There's more solutions, and so you have to step up and be better. The practices that will dominate 2026 are the ones implementing intelligent systems here in 2025. While your competitors are still manually managing leads and accepting 50 to 60% phone coverage while following up less and at lower quality and not following the script and all these different things, you could be capturing 100% of your leads with AI that never sleeps, never gets sick, and gets better with every update. But here's the bigger opportunity. You can take advantage of AI to contact leads and roll out better content more frequently than your competitors ever could. You'll see way higher conversion rates and maximize every dollar of your ad spend, actually squeezing the juice out of it. Despite rising ad costs making it tougher than ever to get results, our system gives you the volume and consistency that was impossible before. Every month you wait, though, your competitors are capturing leads you're losing. While you're reading this, practices in your market are already working hard on implementing AI systems. You're not just missing new patients. You're funding your competitors' growth with every lead that you capture and pay for, but that then goes to voicemail. The window for early adoption is closing fast. In 12 months, this won't be a competitive advantage. This will be table stakes. You're either part of the AI first generation of practice owners or you're competing against them. There's a small group of builders who understand that the future belongs to practices with intelligent AI systems. And while other practice owners are still manually managing leads, you'll be operating at a completely different level. This is what separates the builders who scale to multiple locations from those who stay stuck at just one. Ambitious builders like you don't wait for permission to innovate. This is what separates them. Now, before we go any further, I need to be completely transparent about something important. We don't work with practices under $50,000 per month because, frankly, they're not ready for this level of systematic innovation. We work with practices doing $50 to $500 per month or more. We only take 10 new practices every single month and are incredibly selective. And I'm not just saying that. It's not false like fake, whatever. It's because implementing this level of systematic innovation requires dedicated strategic support and customization for your specific growth goals. Most agencies take anyone with a credit card. We're selective about who we partner with because our reputation depends on it. And frankly, we're not cheap. We deliver results. And you and I both know that that's all that really matters. We're not just another vendor. We're the architects of the AI patient recruitment method. When serious builders want to dominate their market, they don't call marketing agencies. They call us. Take Next Genesis Healthcare, for example. We started working with one of their newer locations a little over a year ago. They were running about $20,000 per month in TV and radio ads, but losing money. They weren't producing from it. We took over their digital marketing efforts, and that location scaled to consistent $60,000 plus months. Now we manage digital efforts for all their locations, with each averaging, ballpark, roughly $50,000 additional per month. This is one of them. This is the one actually we took over. Initially, $271K they produced from $77K in ad spend. Still a little bit newer, a little bit greener, pulling about 35.5x ROAS. This is another one. Dr. Nathan Millhouse, $101,000 from just $20K. Dr. Joe, $151,000 from just $30. We're part of their expansion strategy because we've installed a predictable, powerful system that helps them dominate their markets and add $50 to $100 per month in their offices. Just like we have for Optimal Health US, like I shared, Dr. McKinney, Dr. West, Dr. Greenspan, and many others. Novus Health grew from 2 to 6 locations in 12 months and 8 to 16 months with our system. Dr. Ryan actually here said Thanks for the update, Zach. Great work. The quality has honestly been the best I've ever seen in social media marketing. Dr. Aaron West was previously doing about 60K months when he started with us, and now is consistently cracking 110K plus. 33K produced from 146K. Now, I do have a promise. I have an ironclad double guarantee promise that I do want to share with you. Look, as an ambitious practice owner, you don't make decisions, though, based on promises. You and I both know that. You make them based on proven performance and calculate opportunity, calculate risk, right? That's why our entire system comes with not one, but two performance guarantees designed for serious practice owners. First, if this doesn't outperform your current marketing in the first 16 weeks, you don't pay. We will outperform your current marketing in the next 16 weeks of our active campaign, where you will not pay. Second, we're so driven to help offices scale and want top offices who are really willing to put it on the line to get there. So if you follow our process and add an extra $100,000 per month to your practice with the system, and many offices have in your first 16 weeks, we'll also give you your money back. I'm not saying this is easy, right? You have to be willing to stomach spending the money and working with us and following our process, right? But if you're ambitious, we'll help you get there. We'll lay out the strategy. And if you hit this, we'll give you all of your money back. We can make these guarantees only because we're so confident in what we do. And we want good, committed doctors on board that we can use for credible case studies and continue to grow with. This helps us drive more doctors, help more families, help more entrepreneurs, and ultimately help more patients get well and receive good healthcare. Like I said before, we've now processed over 1 million calls with our AI in the last year of development, spent and produced millions upon millions for our offices. We know what works to scale. If you're thinking about cost instead of ROI, this probably isn't for you. This is for builders who make decisions based on strategic advantage, not monthly payments. So here's what happens next. If you're serious about transforming your practice with intelligent AI patient coordinators and our complete AI patient recruitment method, click the link below or fill out the scheduler to book your strategic growth consultation. This isn't a sales pitch. This is a strategic conversation where we will analyze your current performance in marketing, identify the systematic opportunities you're missing, and show you exactly how our AI-driven solution could accelerate your specific goals. We'll review your expansion plans, discuss your scaling strategy, and create a customized implementation roadmap for your practice. There's no cost, no obligation, no pressure. Leave your credit card at home. Just a strategic conversation between two growth-minded professionals about whether this is a right fit for your ambition. The question isn't if you can afford this, it's whether you're the type of builder we want representing our system. We're not trying to convince you. We're trying to identify if you're ready for this level of growth. But remember, this is open to 10 practices a month because the caliber of work we're doing, this does fill up quickly, and that's all we can truly handle. So don't let another quarter go by. Don't let your competitors get to this and gain the systematic advantage you should have. You'll be joining an exclusive group of doctors who are redefining what's possible in healthcare. It's a membership in the future of practice ownership. Click the button below. Let's start building the predictable, scalable patient acquisition system you deserve. I'll see you on the other side.